Okay, so now we're ready to take our circuit off of the mat. Apologize for the color distortion here, but we'll work with what we have. So here is our cut. You can see the lines kind of around in here, up here. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to just take off that excess fabric. And we're going to do this using a tool that is in this bag that's included with the vinyl cutter. There are a few different tools in here, and the one that we really want is this. This is a spatula. So the first thing, we can just use it to gently pull up our fabric. Please be gentle, take your time. Okay, again, like I have a lot of excess fabric. This is not great. So we always want to be careful to not overuse. All right, so now see how, want to make sure, just in case I didn't cut deeply enough. Usually it's not a problem. Sometimes it happens. You may need to get like a X-Acto knife. Okay, but the goal is to have all of these traces stay on the mat and the excess come off. Because eventually, what we're going to do is transfer this, that's not great, in its entirety to another piece of fabric. So as you can see, I've encountered a little bit of trouble. I think this is because I put that pass at 4 instead of 5, so I didn't get as much as I would have wanted to in terms of speed. But we'll still be able to work with this. And I'm glad that you're witnessing a little bit of a hiccup here, because it does happen, even if you've used the vinyl cutter many times. Okay, so now we have our circuit, which is wonderful. Okay, the next thing that we're going to want to do is take some blue painter's tape, right, and cover our circuit with it. Okay, so this will take a few pieces. You can be strategic about where you lay this. Like, you wouldn't want to lay it, over 2 small pieces that weren't connected. I think I should be able to get this in maybe about 2. I'll do 3 just to be safe. Okay, so I'm going to press down. And this can be a little bit of a tricky process. The other option is you just take the traces off and you sort of eyeball them and lay them down where you want on the fabric, and then you fuse them on. That also works. It's a little more time consuming. This process can be a little easier just because you don't have to keep, because you can keep everything together. So here you see when I start to press down hard enough, I eventually start to get the fabric to adhere onto the painter's tape. I'm going to use my tool, press down. Okay, and now I'm just going to pull back really slowly. I may need to do this a couple of times. Okay, but as I slowly pull back, I'm going to see my circuit start to appear. And there we go. So we have our circuit from our mat now transferred to our blue painter's tape, which is great. So now I'm going to take this mat, I'm going to put it to the side, hopefully not getting any stuff on it. So I have my circuit, I'm going to take a piece of cloth, just a piece of basic cotton that I've already ironed. It's very flat. You want to make sure that you prep your fabric ahead of time. And now I'm going to take this piece of tape and I'm going to position it where I want. I'm going to put it in the middle because maybe I'll do some edge work around it. Who knows? And I'm going to take that, I'm going to press it down. Okay? I'm going to turn it over, and you can sort of see maybe like the outlines of the traces in there. I'm going to take another piece of fabric, like I did before. I'm going to be extra careful. Place it on top. And now it's time to iron. Remember, no steam, low heat. I can probably just hold this in place. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000, 5, 1,000, 6. Okay, so now I'll take that off. We'll let it cool just for a second, because fabrics that are conductive or that conduct electricity also generally absorb heat. So the adhesive is going to stay hot for a little while longer, and we want to make sure that it stays where we want to. So now I'm going to just sort of, I'll do a little check, gently pull it back. If you have a piece of your circuit that's a little bit more robust, like I had that that triangle, it generally helps to start peeling back from that side. So keep going. Oh, the light in here is terrible. My apologies. Keep going very delicately. Very slowly. Look, I can already see there's one piece that's not wanting to come off. A little bit. Okay. Looks like there's another little piece that's not crazy about coming off. Okay, that one looks good. Now there's just this one, which doesn't look like. Maybe we can turn this around and try and go from the other side. Nope. Okay, so we're gonna have to iron that a little bit more. No big deal. Probably just didn't get it the first time. You know, try and make sure you're only on that space. Ideally, we just want to avoid heat when we can. So I should wait, but I'm just going to go ahead and move forward, and there we go. There's our final circuit. So I would go ahead, put the piece of fabric over it, maybe do one more pass, and then we are ready to start adding our components.